Hello everyone and welcome back to another video in which today I'll be seeing the scenario in which France formed an empire. So yeah, today's France. Last time, I think I uploaded it 3 days ago, it was Italy. This time it's going to be France. So, I think the first word that France would go into, I just wanted to mention that completely unrealistic. I've said that in the Italy video and I'm going to repeat that in every single other video I make. So, yeah. I think the first wars France would face would be against Andorra, Monaco, and Luxembourg and Belgium. So the southern Benelux states and the city-states bordering it. So let's take a look at how this war would go. So the war would start out by France quickly occupying the city-states as they have very little defenses. Andorra has some natural defenses, but definitely not enough to stop the French army. And then quite fast advance into Luxembourg, getting it to capitulate, and then slower but still fast advances into Belgium, and Belgium would capitulate within like the first 3 weeks or something. So let's get at the peace treaty. So this is what the peace treaty would look like. France would annex Andorra, Monaco. That's Andorra and that's Monaco. Reduce Luxembourg to like a sliver in northern Luxembourg, and make like a bulge into Belgium. And I think the next war that would face would be against a major power, which would be Spain. So this power, Spain is definitely like weaker than Britain or weaker than Italy, but it's still very strong comparatively to like this side of Europe, the eastern side. So yeah, let's see how this war would unfold. So this war would start out with a quick advance into Catalonia as the Catalan people rise up against Spain and join in with the French, hoping to get an independent state at the end of the war. Spoiler alert, that won't happen. And with the Catalonian assistance, they take the islands of Majorca, I think they're called, and just advance into the Pyrenees until they reach a point where it's not just Pyrenees. And well, I'm making this much faster than it would be. Oh, and also I just wanted to say that the countries that are forming empires get buffs. So this is much faster than it would be in real life. Like in real life, it would take months upon months upon months, like the Napoleon Peninsular Campaign did, only that this one's going to result in a victory. But yeah, France would eventually win. By the time they just like cut off this region from Spain, encircle it, that's already like a couple 100,000 troops gone. Okay, not a couple of 100,000, like maybe a couple tens of thousands. Another large encirclement, another tens of thousands, and simply they spearhead out and take Madrid. So let's take a look at the peace treaty, because now Spain has surrendered. Okay, let's see. So the French would take like the entire Aragonian and Navarrian regions of Spain and the Majorca Islands. So I just want to say this is inspired by adizzpro, but it's not a copy of adizzpro's videos. If you don't like it, just click off the video. I don't know what to say. So France has now annexed a very large part of Spain, and the European countries see that and they're not very happy of that. So Italy and Britain decide to form a coalition against France, for their power is getting too strong for the British and the Italians to handle. So the San Marinians, I don't know how to say them, also join in. Switzerland joins in, and the Benelux join back in, because by now Belgium and Luxembourg have nothing left to lose. All the worst that can happen is that they get annexed, because they're already have been reduced to slivers. So let's see how the war would unfold. So I just want to state again that the empires get buffs, so they're gonna win this war despite the fact that they wouldn't do this in real life. So this would quickly start off with the British securing naval dominance in the English Channel, because I mean they're Britain, they like doing that, and they'll just attack France frequently, like with their navy, get them low. However, another con to the fact that the Catalonians did get an independent state is that now they rise up against France like they did against Spain. So now the Catalonians are rising up, they have naval dominance in that region, and the French are kinda a bit mad about that. So the French invade Sardinia using Corsica, and they also push into northern region and reach Genoa. That's where they get stopped. However, and they do very, very slow advance into Switzerland because it's the Alps are very hard to traverse, so they're very slow. The Benelux, however, simply get rolled over. So this is all happening within the course of like a week. Okay, no, I did not mean to do that in Britain. Let me just recolor everything that I did because I accidentally clicked Control Z. So yeah, the Benelux would get completely and fully occupied within like 4 weeks. They're not that strong. And the Catalonians would eventually get suppressed using local militias. So the French are now looking like they're going to win the war. They've won naval dominance in the Mediterranean. They have captured Gibraltar. I'm not going to paint it blue because I'm too lazy to do that. But just pretend that they have Gibraltar right now. And yeah, the Swiss lose everything and surrender. And the Italian front is going horribly. The French are pushing. They just eventually cut off the north and cut off Milan and Venice, which are both really important places in Italy, Milan being like the economic center. And they eventually just cut off Rome from the rest of Italy, and Rome falls. So the rest of Italy surrenders because, yeah. Now it's only Britain left. And the French, now that they have like the Italian navy and all of those occupied nations' navies with them, secure naval dominance in the English Channel, and actually for the first time ever in the history of France, I think, they land in Britain and they take London as they have a superior land army. They spearhead up into like Wales and just overall the western part of England, and eventually capture the rest of England, and Scotland, seeing the writing on the wall, surrenders. So, yeah, let's take a look at the peace treaty. So, this is what the new borders would look like. Seeing as this was a massive war, the French punished the losing side very badly. They take a large part of Italy and Switzerland over here. They annex Luxembourg, Belgium, and the southern part of Netherlands. They also take Gibraltar. I can't really color that because it's very tiny. Let me see if I can. Yeah, it just doesn't show up there. But they have Gibraltar. They've taken Sardinia. And they've also taken the lower side of England to stop them from ever dominating the English Channel in the future. So, yeah, let's just say that the Allies are in a very, very bad state right now. Or the Allies, the opposing side is in a very bad state. So now, seeing as this is kind of Europe's fate, no one dares challenge them. So the French just attack Spain and Germany. They attack Spain for Spain is trying to support more Catalonian rebels for the new state of Catalonia, and they attack Germany because Germany is sanctioning them very heavily and making their economy fall a bit. So this is the second last war of the video. The last war will be with Algeria and Tunisia. So yeah, let's see how this war would unfold. So the war would begin with major French advances as they were ready for the war in Germany, because Germany was not. But Spain had, since the last war, put up a ton of garrisons. So Spain has basically an impenetrable wall right now with the French. And the French are frustrated about that. So they get very mad. I'll just say that. However, they managed to penetrate the wall in the north and spread up the Atlantic coast. And they outstretched their lines a lot, which means that the Spanish can get to cut them off. And for now, this part of France is in a very bad, this part of the French army is in a very bad state. They try to secure this, and it works, so now they have a secure line. But their supply lines are very short, so they have to wait for the reinforcements to arrive. However, the French managed to encircle a large part of those defenses and crush them. So that's a huge part of the Spanish army down. Like that's a third of the Spanish army, and these members, seeing the danger they're in, get encircled. However, and yeah, they're just crushed. I'm using the word crushed a lot. And yeah, after a few more weeks of pushing, the French conquer Madrid for the second time, and the Spanish surrender for the second time. So now the French continue their advance into Germany, trying to push over to the Czech border. They're trying to do a great southern offensive, which the Germans were not expecting. Reminds me kind of the offensive against the Soviets of Stalingrad. But however, as opposed to Stalingrad, the French don't lose the south and push until basically all of the west is down. So it's basically only east left, and Germany surrenders. It's gone. So let's look at the peace treaty. Okay, so this is what the peace treaty would look like. Spain, basically utterly destroyed. They move up from Gibraltar. They get all of this. It's just basically gone. And the French get the Rhine area of Germany. And now time for the final war of the video. And like with the Italian video, it's also in Africa. And like in the Italian video, it has something to do with Tunisia. In the Italian video is Tunisia and Libya versus Italy. Here it's going to be Tunisia and Algeria. So let's take a look at how the war would unfold. So the French, using Gibraltar, the Spanish thing, Sicily, Sardinia, and the islands. With the Majorca Islands, they land a naval landing there. With Sicily and Sardinia, why do I keep on saying Sicily? With Sardinia and Corsica, they land at Cape Bon, and unlike the Romans, they actually win the battle. And with the Spanish, they land here. So they have landed in 3 different places along the coast. And let's just say this is very rough for the African coalition. So they quickly just spread up the coast, capture all key points of interest, and yeah, after that the African nations just surrender because it's just desert left. So this was a very short-lived war. I mean, Tunisia still had more than desert, but they just couldn't. So this was a very short-lived war, and let's take a look at the peace treaty. So this is what the peace treaty would look like, and this is the end of the video. I'm just gonna paint in black everything the French got. And yeah, let's just say the Italian Empire was successful, but this one was even more successful. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and see you soon. Goodbye.